Hello and welcome to another episode of the Blind Truth podcast. And today we have two very special guests with us, two of the members of the band The Cuza, who are a Mancunian rock indie band with a hint of Transylvania. So we have Wayne, rhythm guitarist, and Tudor, the lead singer. Thank you for joining us, guys.
Thanks for having us, Phil.
Hi, Phil. You okay?
Okay, so if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about your band, when it was formed, that kind of stuff. Who joined when, and who's the big honcho of the whole thing?
Yeah, well, crack on. He's the ego, so you crack on.
Me?
Yeah,
no. I met these guys back in 2019 because I moved to the UK back in 2016.
Right.
And it was one of those cases on Facebook where you post, I'm looking for a singer, or I'm looking for band members and stuff like that.
Right.
And these guys posted a photo of Mona Lisa, but it was all like messed up with like scribbles all over the face.
Mona Lisa?
Of Mona Lisa, yeah. And they were like,
okay.
Mancunian band looking for a singer.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, that looks interesting, because I like the Mona Lisa all messed up. I was like, these guys must be crazy. So that's kind of right down my alley. So I was like, okay, let me get in touch with these guys. And I replied to that post.
Right.
And because Wayne here is a boomer and doesn't know anything about social media and Facebook. A boomer, yeah.
Okay.
Ignore him.
Don't ask me to.
I don't even know what one is.
In Romanian, that means a really intelligent, talented person.
Yeah,
that's what that
true.
means.
And obviously very handsome. I'm saying, isn't it?
Yes.
What is a boomer? I've heard that term quite a lot, but I don't even know what one is.
It means an old person that's a bit, I can't swear, can I? He's not very good with technology.
Yes.
You can swear, by the way. There's no restriction on here.
Well, he's shit at technology.
Shit at technology. So it was his daughter that posted that for him.
Right.
And then I started chatting with his daughter, thinking that it was him. And I was like, and then she revealed her identity, and I was like, oh, all right. And we kept sending, she sent me some of the songs, that because they were a band before I joined, like Wayne back in the day. You were the singer, you were driving the band. And
well, I'm a songwriter, really. So we were just writing songs for fun. I got people together. I knew the musicians, and we were having a bit of fun, just doing a bit of recording and just putting my songs out for publishing. Really.
So was it called the Cuza before?
No, it wasn't. So we weren't really looking to be a band. We were looking just to record some stuff for publishing and different things.
Right.
This thing called sync, and for TV and all that kind of stuff, so you can put your music out there, and that's all we're doing it for. Really.
Yeah. So Tudor came along, and then it became more professional after that. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Don't build him up too big. You're not getting him out of the building. But I think what kind of happened is my daughter, who's a muso, I'm the old one in the band, obviously, but daughter who's a bit of a muso, said, this new stuff you're writing is, and the way you're playing it, you should really be getting that in a band format and doing it as a band. And so it was her actually posted that Mona Lisa thing, which was related to one of the songs we were recording. So anyway, you can take it over from there, because he saw that advert and that was it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I heard A Life Full of Color, which was probably my favorite song after the batch that he sent me, and I was completely like drawn into it. And then we had like an hour and a half conversation on the phone while I was in a gym somewhere, and we were talking about music, and he was like, come around mine, let's try to play these acoustically and see if we vibe with each other. And that's when I met James as well, our lead guitarist. And James was
I've got to ask, what was it about the Mona Lisa that attracted you to that advert?
I don't know, it was just like a messed up picture of Mona Lisa, and I was like, these guys have just taken something that's something big, and then they just thrashed all over it, and I was like, okay, these guys sound a bit cool.
Surprised you didn't get in trouble for that, did you not?
Well, the song it relates to is called Keep On Smiling, and it's kind of, obviously she's famous for that smile. Is she smiling? Isn't she smiling? And the song is about apathy, about people pretending they're happy when and all around them is chaos. So it kind of fitted. Was the Mona Lisa really smiling? Is she smiling? I don't know. She could have just been farting, for all I know. You can't really tell. So that
could have been constipated.
She could have been. So it related to whether it was a smile or not. And that's why he picked it. And then we put sunglasses on her and slashed her face and put all messed up stuff and all that.
That's the breathing show coming out.
That's what you did. That's what we did. Yeah. That's what we did.
Oh, it sounds all right. That's good. So, what's your, if you don't mind me asking, what's your kind of high point so far? You've done some recordings, presumably, and anywhere famous that stands out at all?
Well, I've just been in a little studio in the UK. I don't know if you've heard of it. Was it like
Abbey Summit?
Abbey
Road.
Abbey Road? No, never heard of Abbey
I
Road.
don't know.
Why would I have heard of
There
Abbey
was
Road?
some band from Liverpool was there years ago, apparently.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Like
that bunch of amateurs from the
They're
tavern.
rubbish.
I get it.
Rubbish, yeah, absolute rubbish.
They were just warming it up for you guys, clearly.
It was a small little place. It was all right. wasn't it?
Did you walk over the Pelican Cross?
We did.
I knew it.
we had to.
But we did it the other way, so be a bit radical.
Yeah.
Like we were leaving.
Yeah. I think James Caan on the Dragon's Den used to say, observe the masses and do the opposite.
Yeah. Well, we did the opposite.
Yeah,
we did
that's
the opposite,
great.
yeah.
That's good stuff. So, what's your favourite song that you've done so far? Do you write your own songs, or do you have writers? Or
No, all our own.
all
stuff.
your own stuff?
Oh, we won't do
End to end.
End to end.
Wow.
It's the mastermind behind the songs.
I do a lot of the song. What tends to happen, I get ideas, put a song kind of together acoustically, throw it out on the WhatsApp group, and they all get hold of it. And then we meet up, we have a few beers, and then a noise will come out, and we'll go,
that'll do.
That kind of works.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we do. Like the old-fashioned band way. You know, when bands used to be cool and good and rule the planet.
Yeah, when they used to throw TVs out of hotel windows.
Correct,
before
before producers and writing teams killed music dead about 20 years ago, and it's all insipid nonsense, which it is, when real bands existed, basically.
So outside of, obviously, the Cuza, your favourite band, who do you like outside of your own stuff?
Oh, well, Fontaine's DC.
Oh,
we've just
massive
been
fan of Fontaine's DC
cool
at the moment.
Yeah.
Nothing But Thieves I still like. You've gone off them a bit, haven't you, lately?
Yeah,
I'm still a Nothing But Thieves fan. I like them.
Well, obviously very topical at the moment. Just the last couple of days, as you know, the Gallagher brothers have got back together. Are you fans of theirs, or can you not say? You prefer not to say? Or?
Listen, everyone liked Oasis back in the 90s.
Yeah.
You know, whether I want to see them back together again in 2025, I'm not
It's
so
funny
sure.
that, isn't it? I've been watching a lot of stuff the last couple of days. I mean, it's been everywhere, social media, on every single platform. There's quite a lot of people coming out saying, I've got like mixed feelings about this. I think the boomers, are they called?
Boomers,
Gen
correct.
X, I'm certainly one myself.
Yeah.
We kind of like leave it where it was.
Yeah,
you know.
that's what I think about it. But listen, it's the clash between the brothers. This is more like a soap opera, let's be honest. It's about, most people will be looking at that stage to see what their relationship is like on stage. Most people will.
I think you might be right. So do you think, in the interest of them staying apart, as it were, because I think, as we said just before we started the podcast, that there's every chance if they start knocking around together, you know, by July comes around, they might be absolute enemies again. Who knows?
What do you reckon?
So we didn't have Oasis in Transylvania, so I only heard about Oasis probably when I got to uni.
Right.
And then I moved to Manchester, obviously, and everyone was raving about Oasis.
Yeah.
I mean, no one can contest that they have good songs, or they had good songs.
So I mean, what would you consider to be the gold sprinkle, if you like? As you know, I'm a filmmaker.
Yeah.
And everyone talks about the cinematography or the sound, or I find it a combination of everything.
Yeah.
But there's definitely the sprinkle of gold dust in a film is the editing. Yeah. There's no doubt about that. I mean, you take any one of the elements out of it and it's a bad film. If it looks great but you can't hear it, what's the point?
Absolutely.
If it sounds great and looks terrible, what's the point? So the mixture of all of that, but definitely when we edit and colour, it brings it to life. And is there any element of songwriting, or is it the writing? Is it the musical skills? Is it a combination of?
I think as opposed to film editing and the color grading in music, I don't think it's about when you work on the product in the studio and you lay down all the bits and all the magic. I think it all sits in the writing, and it's all a matter of honesty and the thing that you want to express.
Interesting.
If it comes from an honest place and it's not something that's you know, if you're not trying to replicate, if you're not trying to like take someone else's idea and put it in, in place, that's it for me. It's about having fun, and it's about speaking your mind, and whatever goes.
Well, the fun element, I'm sure that must come across, especially when you're playing. you know,
Absolutely,
with an audience
Oh,
rather
yeah.
than, you know, in a studio and hope that someone likes it later. But if you can see them, you know, you get that instant gratification, I suppose.
Well, that's the best bit. We had a rehearsal last night, funnily enough.
Did you?
And it'd been, because a couple of us have been away for a few weeks. First time for a few weeks we got together.
Yeah.
And even though it was just a rehearsal, it's just great to plug in.
Yeah, and just give it
play, and it's great.
Yeah,
and
I bet
that's
it is.
the fun of it. Just making that noise together is just nothing like that's being in a band. Anyone that's in a band, and there's lots of people in bands, unless you're in a, you know, listen, due respect to people in covers bands, I get that, and that's fantastic. And being in a covers band is great. That's how they make them, you know, at weddings and like. But if you're playing your own stuff, it's coming from your own soul and your heart, and you're putting it out there. There's no better feeling.
I think so as well. I mean, I'm not obviously. I'm
well,
not
you're a
musician,
filmmaker,
or,
so when it comes out of you, there's nothing better than that, is it?
yeah. The only similar I can give you with what I do is the very first time, and I was pre-warned about this, but the very first time, because I write my own films, so when you're on a set and you're directing, and suddenly you realise that all these people are saying what you wrote. And it was really thrilling. It was a massive thrill for me. I was pre-warned that when you first realise that's what's going on here, it's a massive. And I thought, no, it can't be as good as all that. But it was such a buzz watching these really good actors playing the characters that had come out of somewhere in the ether of my brain, somewhere at the back, you know.
Well, it is. Well, weirdly, I mean, when we very first got together, and the first thing we recorded together was the song "Keep on Smiling" because it was the picture on the. You know, that got Cuza involved. Yeah. So we all got together and we recorded that. And out of nowhere, what was he called? The podcaster? He was a YouTube sensation.
You got me. I can't remember his name now.
So did you say that was called Keep on Smiling?
Keep on Smiling.
Yeah, we're going to listen to a little bit of that right now.
Yeah.
So this guy I know, so we'd literally been in a band about 2 months. We'd recorded this song, one of the first ones we'd recorded a lot since, and we hadn't done this at Abbey Road, but we'd recorded it. And this, because it was lockdown, because it was right into lockdown. Everyone was locked down, the world had gone to tits up.
I remember,
So everyone's feeling a bit sorry for himself, and this guy reached out to us through this song. He'd obviously heard it and reached out to us, and reached out to you, and you connected with him, and turned out he was an Argentinian YouTuber.
Yeah, it was like
living in Paris. Am I right? Is that right? You tell us.
Yeah, absolutely. He was a bit of like an influencer, I would say. Not necessarily like in the sense of like selling stuff, but like him doing a bit of videography. He's an actor as well. He does a lot of like face stuff. He can move his face in very interesting ways.
Yeah, a bit of Jim Carrey.
Yeah, pretty much. And he went viral. Luciano Rosso. Shout out to Luciano. And we did the video for Keep on Smiling together, and he was very ingenious with it because he did it in his apartment basically, and he just pulled all these like mad crazy moves on the song, and
if he's an influencer, he's going to have a ready-made audience.
That was good.
He got a million YouTube views or something, didn't he?
Wow.
We got 250,000. He got like
amazing.
It was a good exposure, but it was for the right reasons because he liked the song, we liked what he was doing, therefore it was a successful partnership, and he did a great job with the video. It was good to put it in front of people.
But it was the connection. What you said, it clearly resonated with him. The song and the way we'd done the song clearly
took him somewhere, didn't it?
So he's stuck in lockdown, being obviously not doing what he wants to do, get out there and do all these things. And he liked the message in the song, and it meant something to us, didn't it? We thought that was pretty cool. You like that?
So did you guys do the Zoom thing during lockdown? And a lot of
couple.
actors I know, they
Not
had
many.
40 people on one screen all playing different characters and online film. Didn't scratch my itch at all, but a lot of people did.
A couple, didn't
we didn't do any live stuff. We just recorded ourselves, like playing a few songs that we've released or a few songs that we haven't released, dropped them on YouTube just to kind of show face a bit. But it was a very interesting time for us because I think even though the world closed down, we got to knock on some doors that in a normal world probably wouldn't have been open for us. So we managed to meet some really interesting people which we worked together, and that's how we ended up at Abbey Road Studios as well in Metropolis. And
so really opportunities came from it, because
it did, because we didn't just lay back and not do anything. So we kept on grafting, and we kept on writing, we kept on like trying to record music where possible, and then send our music everywhere basically.
And it's paid off. Really,
that was
you're an amazing band. I love your stuff.
Thank
I really do. What I've seen of it. This place, I got this studio a month before lockdown. I'd literally just got it all registered, ready to go.
Yeah,
they locked us down, and like you say, it was tough to keep going at times.
Yeah.
But there's an old tradition of leaving the candle burning in the studio when it's closed.
Really?
I did it electronically, so that it wasn't dangerous. Nice. And so it means you're going to come back to it.
Right.
Which we did. I actually qualified for loads of grants and stuff by sheer luck. I'd literally just started. There wasn't anything in here. It was completely empty. But like you say, those of us that kept going.
Yeah.
Here we are still.
Here we are.
They gave me quite a lot of money in grants, and what the first thing I did was paid 3 years rent in advance.
Wow.
To make sure that no matter how long this thing happened, because you must remember, none of us knew what the hell was going on.
No.
I'm not even sure about the truth yet, if that's not too political. But who knows what was going to happen? But a lot of people in this complex here, this mill, they were buying motorhomes with the grant money and motorbikes and caravans, and they've all gone bust now.
Yeah.
And we're still here, so that was a good thing. But so you guys, did you do writing? You're the songwriter.
I've never stopped.
Yeah, there was not else really to do, was there?
Well, for the last, our material that we can all work on together is just like endless. I mean, we've got so much we work on. We just literally finished recording this year our second album.
Right.
We're just literally finishing off. We just got a few vocals overdubs to do, haven't we?
Yeah.
And that'll be finished by the end of the year, and we've already probably got 8 or 9 tracks for the third album written and ready to go, and we love them, and we play, like we always do. We're already playing some of them live. People don't even know what they are.
So you're prolific in your songwriting.
And so when we get together for a new song, and Tudor does tell me off for this because we do it a lot, but we tend to play our new stuff from the rehearsal room, and we'll go to the next gig and we'll throw the new, because we love the new one, and we'll throw one in, and people want one,
more like 5.
All right. And we throw them in. And last night was a perfect example. We played a song last night called "Sitting on a Rainbow," and it's just, but it's a fantastic tune.
Sitting on a Rainbow.
It's a big tune.
Sounds interesting, isn't it?
It's a big tune. We don't do love songs, and we don't do breakup songs, because that's kind of,
leave that to Adele.
Exactly.
Please don't go there.
Don't mention Adele.
She's brilliant in my opinion, but
she is.
She does.
He doesn't like her.
Does. She needs to write about a vacuum cleaner or something different, rather than go for the easy shots.
You're not going to say kitchen sink as well.
Anything,
it sounds a bit sexist to me.
Oh no, not sexist. Well, all right. Filling a car up with diesel instead of petrol.
Okay.
Could be, anything, but the obvious route to the charts.
So when you said vacuum cleaner, I thought, oh no, I've got to dig out of this one.
No, it's all right.
And
she just any subject that just isn't the obvious, I think. And,
I mean, even the album titles are the age that she is at the time of recording, apparently. So 18, 19, 21, whatever they call it.
But we do exactly the opposite. So if we do write about, we tend to write an anti love song, or a tongue-in-cheek nod at the fact that people do love songs. So Sitting on a Rainbow is about that mystical love feeling we all have. We're all sitting on a rainbow together. But and I can't do the lyrics here because I won't, but it descends into what generally ends up.
It just takes a U-turn at some point.
Let's just say it isn't really a love song.
Well, with your permission, we'll play a little bit of it.
No, it's not recorded.
No,
yet.
right, okay.
That's a brand new song. We
Okay.
just play it live in the rehearsal room. But it'll be at our next gig.
Well, So you've got gigs coming up, I presume.
The live thing's changing because we're just changing management, so we can't go into it too much. But,
Okay.
So our next live appearance will be for the new management at Notting Hill Publishing, who are the second biggest music publishers in the world, at their networking event in London in end of September.
Yeah, end of September.
End of September, and that's like an industry closed door thing where it's just like promoters and A&R people.
So the people that do your videos, are they going to be videoing you all live in any ways?
I don't know if they're allowed into that because that's a music industry event. It's not like a public event.
It's sort of like a private.
I don't
thing.
think it's private for them.
I'm just trying to plug what we do here. That's all.
Oh, right. yeah.
Just we do music videos.
Yeah, well there you go. Well, listen, if they let you go to Notting Hill, you can. I'm sure they'll let you in. I can ask the question.
Yeah, no problem.
But that's the next one. But we'll be we've decided last night that we're throwing that in, haven't we?
So each of you, if you don't mind me asking, what brought you to the point of, have you always been into music individually? Have you done it since a kid or yourself?
He's got the more interesting music backstory. Listen to it.
It doesn't necessarily have to be music though. I want to know your backstory of each of you.
Yeah. Oh, mine's boring. I was a young dad.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, young dad, 18.
Yeah. 4 years later than me.
Anyway, young dad, all that kind of stuff. So I hit life young and got through life young and did what I did to earn a living. So, and that's what you do. So music's always been a big part of my life.
Yeah.
But only a part of my life until, more recent years where I just think my songwriting's got better and it's become more relevant. So
is that because you've got more experiences to draw on, do you think?
I don't know what it is. Who knows? I don't know. Is there a secret? Some people are really... It's like some people write the best album when they're 18 and then haven't got another album in them, and then some people don't write anything until they're in the 50s and 60s.
And presumably no chemical enhancements.
No,
I've heard lots of songwriters saying, I do it better when I'm taking this or that. Or
listen, if life isn't enough of an enhancement, I don't know.
Well,
Jesus Christ, life's the biggest chemical you can have, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that mine's pretty boring. I've just always been around music, always loved music. I've got a very eclectic taste. So I was a Bowie fan when I was a young kid. Wow. Obviously, I always loved me Bowie and the weird Bowie stuff, not the mainstream stuff. And I always loved stuff like that. And
Ziggy Stardust and all that stuff.
Oh, like when I was a wee bairn, I loved all that stuff. Or when I was a wee bairn, and any of that. And I loved dance music. I loved dancing. Right. I've always loved dance music. I love dancing. So it's a bit of a varied thing. But mine's pretty mainstream, and the other guys are similar, I'd say, to me. Right. Ryan's a young lad. He's a young drummer.
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me.
That'd be Ryan now.
He's just outside.
He's
just been waiting outside for a while now.
So Ryan's just a phenomenal drummer, a young lad. He could literally drum for anyone in the world.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. So our producer of the first album is a guy called Aid Bushby, and Aid Bushby. He has produced Foo Fighters.
Yeah. I've heard a lot about them.
And so he's top of the tree stuff. Right. So we were a bit nervous about going in with him, but he was great. But when you're in the studio, your drummer is on the spot.
Really?
Oh, Jesus. On the spot. I'm sure in film you have those moments where a key character or someone actually, they get it wrong, the whole shot's gone, it's that kind of thing.
It's kind of the perfect storm sometimes in a film where the one actor really pulls everything up
exactly
high.
Well, if your drummer isn't on his click or isn't on his tone or doesn't get it right when you're all because we're a band, we like to play live in a studio when we're recording. If he doesn't get it right, you're all gone in the studio conditions. You're just never going to get the vibe, you're never going to get the energy, you're never going to get it right. Honestly, it's so much pressure.
So he's kind of the linchpin of the whole thing, really.
But you put him under pressure, he just goes up another level. And H. Busby, who's worked with the best drummers ever, pulled me on one side one day and he went, that kid is phenomenal.
Wow.
Phenomenal.
So we haven't told him that, obviously.
We won't tell him
maybe
about
cut this part onto the podcast.
We won't tell him about that. But anyway, that's enough about me. You want a musical, so he's got a more interesting history.
Tell us about your background.
So much pressure. No, Ryan is great. Just to go back to that, I think
Ryan.
I
Is
don't
that his
think.
name, Ryan?
Yeah, his name. I don't think that kid's ever been under pressure. Or he doesn't seem like he's under pressure anywhere
It's
with
one
us.
that makes it look easy.
I remember last week when we did with Aid Bushby, and Ryan came in and he did his songs in 4 days. Yeah. Basically, so he laid the drum tracks down in the first 4 days, and we were there for a week. So for the last 3 days, all he did was sit and relax, have a beer, have a bit of
like first take stuff.
And we were sat there like.
Yeah, just first take stuff.
So what's straight? Well, again, I can associate with that in terms of acting. I've got a couple of actors with us. Garth Maunders is one, and Maria O'Hare. You just know when they're on the set, it's going to be right every single time. And first go, as you say. And everyone else seems to see how good they are and responds to that in a kind of a nervous stress sort of way, but positive. You know, these guys are really good, and when you bring someone else in with them, they know when they watch them, I've got to be this good. Yeah. And then the whole thing's better.
Exactly.
So
whereas when Tudor gets it wrong, he knows I'll just sing over it for him, so that's
what. You don't go wrong, do you, Tudor?
No.
Sure you don't. So how did you get to come to the UK, if you don't mind me asking, if that's not too personal?
No, it's nothing personal, really. Yeah. I think coming from Romania, Transylvania, you live in quite a colourless kind of environment, and you kind of like in terms of arts and music and creativeness and stuff like that. And I've always felt like, I was doing my own thing, kind of listening to all sorts of music and thinking a bit more, open-minded in that. I was being a bit more open-minded in that sense, and I never felt like. I've done a lot of music in Romania. I started, as you do in high school, you have your band, you do covers, you try to write your stuff, and then that happened throughout high school, and then I went on like a musical contest in Romania when I was 18. Right. It was the X Factor.
I was going to say it's a bit of an X Factor Romania.
Yeah, it was the X Factor Romania era of mine. Thinking back, it's funny now. In hindsight,
don't play it
it's
down.
Funny.
He was on the televised finals.
Yeah, really? I wasn't on the. I got to like the live shows and stuff like that. So it was a good like kind of. Exposure to that world in Romania, but I was still not really impressed by the whole thing because as you know, probably in lots of these like live shows, everything's sort of like, it was great fun, but everything's scripted to the T basically, and
nothing is as it seems.
Yeah, exactly. It's that thing of nothing as it seems. So for the Love Island watchers, it's fake, guys.
Yeah, all of it. Everything you see on the TV, believe me. I've noticed these things on TV at the minute that are quite big, where people buy this container full of stuff that's left behind.
Yes, the Storage Wars.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've never watched an episode of that yet. That hasn't got some of our actors on it because it's all fake.
Really?
It's fake as hell. It's fake as hell.
Is it? They're all actors.
I love that.
I think there's one or two that are genuine, but they bring actors in. I mean, they pay them to be there and bid and But I've seen. I know for a fact. I know plenty of people that have been on it.
It's that sort of thing. So, anyways, I've gone through that, and I got to meet a lot of people. At the time, I moved to Bucharest, which is the capital of Romania, and I started doing music there. I was working in a few studios. I was kind of writing the Romanian style music for other artists and myself as well. I never felt like truly happy with that, and things happened in my life. That gave me the opportunity to move to the UK back then in 2016, and I've been here since, and I used to live down south, as I was mentioning earlier, in a little village called Uckfield. Shout out Uckfield on this occasion. It was somewhere in between Brighton and London in the east of Sussex, so it was 40 minutes away from Brighton, an hour away from London. It was a great place for that, but
and then you saw the light and came to Manchester.
Yeah, it was it was a bit boring, and I was like, Manchester, let's again another opportunity in my life moving me to Manchester, and
this is the place to be.
It's a cool place, I'm kind of enjoying it. I mean, besides, I don't want to bring weather into the conversation, but god dang it, what the hell is up with this?
Well, you've no shortage of snow in Romania sometimes either, have you? So,
Got nice summers.
Yeah, pretty well. I mean, most people that haven't been or never even looked at it, English people, I think, or British people, they think about Romania and it sounds a bit kind of remote and a bit sort of cold and... but it's not always like that, is it?
It's not.
Summers there are really hot, aren't they?
30 degrees, and
Yeah.
winters are not as cold as
No.
they used to be. So book a trip to Romania. It's cool,
I went 33 years ago
right?
to Brasov.
You'll be exactly the same now.
It's more beautiful. To be fair, I look at 10 years ago, right, when I was there, and I was interacting with all sorts of people, and then going back, say this year, especially to Bucharest, I feel like it's definitely come a long way since then.
Yeah,
There's a lot.
yeah.
There's a lot more open-mindedness. There's a lot more love in people. Bear in
Yeah.
mind, I don't want to go on down to like a political like history now,
You
but
can mention Andrew Tate if you want to.
no, absolutely not. But we were a communist country up until 1989,
Yeah.
so we've only witnessed 35 years of democracy. It's
Yeah.
it's not 35 years is not a long time. So
No,
going
no.
from
You're still learning them, really.
yeah,
Yeah.
so going from being very strict and not having exposure to the rest of the world
Yeah.
to all of a sudden having this explosion of information and resources and everything.
Yeah, post-communist stuff is
it's-
I've got a friend, one of my best friends is from Czech Republic.
All right, yeah.
His parents told me the exact same thing when it was, controlled by the USSR. It was
Yeah.
hellish. I've got an adopted daughter who's Latvian.
Mm-hmm.
She's tells me the same stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's brand new to them, and they're not really sure what to
Yeah.
do with it yet.
But people are learning. Like I
Yeah.
think it's great. I went to Bucharest at the beginning of this year, and musically as well. Like met so many of my friends from back in
Yeah.
the day, and new people, and everyone's like so much like they're being themselves rather than them
Yeah.
trying to emulate something. So it's great. I think
Yeah.
everyone's kind of
I mean, your English is
Okay.
perfect.
Oh, thanks, man.
So did you learn that in Romania?
We
Most times I ask this question to people, they say watching American TV.
yeah. We start
In Romania or wherever.
yeah, that we start really early. Like we start learning English when we're 8 years old in school, basically.
Is it part of the curriculum of school? I was gonna
Yes,
ask, is it?
yeah.
Right.
But like, because my father really insisted on like me taking English lessons, so I
Sure.
did some private lessons and then listening to music and like watching movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I remember the first when I moved to Manchester, because obviously the accent down south is a bit more like
Well, mate, it's
open,
going.
understandable. I moved to Manchester and I was like going through like the Manchester region area, so like Bolton or like Knutsford.
Yeah. Worlds apart, Bolton and Knutsford.
No offense, like obviously
No,
it's different
it's the
accents.
same every which way around.
But I
really
loved
is.
it. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god. And then Sean, bless Sean, our bassist. He's Rottenstall.
Yeah, he's
Rottenstall.
he's in the sticks.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's Coke. I'll have a rum and Coke.
Yeah.
All right, cocker.
All right.
All right.
Oh.
No.
Not sure what colour his rose is. That's the thing.
He's a great guy, though.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't think it makes a lot of difference where you're from. And I've always said the only organ that really matters is your heart.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything else is irrelevant, really. It's that denotes what kind of person you are, and that's all I ever need in anyone, anyway.
Yeah,
Got a good heart, the rest of it can be worked on.
absolutely.
I tell you what, they can't do, Romanians drink, because he challenged us.
Oh, really?
When we finished recording the first album on the last night, because he's obviously the singer, he couldn't go mad. We'd been on the ale every night, obviously.
Yeah.
He couldn't go mad because he's got to keep.
He's
his
got to
voice.
watch his.
So the last night he said, "I'm gonna go for it." Last night, and I brought Palinka, which is like Romanian moonshine.
Yeah.
Guess
You must have tried Palinka.
Palinka.
The Brasov,
Yeah,
Pali- So he's got this bottle of Palinka and he's giving it the big I am. Oh, listen, you guys won't understand. This is what we drink. You honestly, you do well to live with me. We started drinking Palinka at 5 o'clock ish. We put him to bed about 6:30. Maybe
kind of
7.
Romanian Raki, isn't it, basically?
Yeah.
Maybe
Yes,
7, if you're giving the benefit of the doubt. I think he lasted about 2 hours.
Did he claim
Not
7?
a
I
lot,
bet he did.
not
Yeah.
a lot more. And we were all on it.
The full story is
Don't go.
he's
Yeah,
a,
here we go.
he's a
Come on, let's have the
bullshitter
detail.
because I served everyone with shots and I was doing shots one after another, trying to get these guys to do the shots with me.
We
And it
did
was
do
only
the
right.
shots.
You did one.
Oh,
You did
what?
one shot. Anyways, yeah.
We're going to have
I
to
don't
put this to the
recommend.
test in the future, don't we? Now?
Tell you. We
Yeah.
had to put him on his side so he didn't throw up in his night. Having said that, a dead singer's quite good for a band. You know,
Yeah,
that
true.
album could have
You
gone
could
through
have
the
Mr.
roof.
Bones. There you
True.
go. He'll join your band.
Why do we think of that? We should have left you on your back. No, I didn't
That's
think
what
of
I
that.
looked like that night.
Well, I'm yet to lose a drinking challenge.
Oh, there you go. There's a threat.
Nah, do you know what it is? I don't drink because I absolutely got something wrong with my liver, and I've never been drunk in my life. I've never had a hangover. My liver just kicks it out before it takes effect. That's why I don't drink. There's no point. I just get bloated. Off the first sip, I get a stiff neck, and I want to emphasise neck.
Yeah, right.
And then the rest of it does no difference whatsoever.
Yeah.
I've had many battles of friends that doubt. I don't believe what I'm telling them.
It's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, I was out in Lithuania. I don't know if you've been to Lithuania. They tend to brew their beer at the back of each pub. They have like a little shed at the back. They have their own little still at the back and stuff. And this guy said to me and these two friends I went with, one of them was the lad from the Czech Republic who's very macho and thinks he can drink everybody, you know. And I ended up carrying both of them home. I was just, even the guy behind the bar was like puzzled that I wasn't even slightly drunk.
Yeah.
It was that thick, this pint he produced. You almost needed a spoon with it. It was terrible.
Not for me.
Yeah.
It was like drinking blancmange. It was weird.
Yeah, you'd be lost. You'd be lost in that.
I'm not a good drinker, to be fair. I'm a lightweight, but
it's not good for you. The intoxication, the clue's in the word toxic. It's right in there. It's not good for you. But
have you heard that?
Yeah, no, me headphones
they're working. Okay, cool.
Right,
I just missed the last bit.
So let me ask you another question, guys. Your own favourite song of your band. Have you got a particular favourite, Wayne? And are they the same one?
Oh.
You know, I suppose you come from your own sort of what you do in the band. Yours might be the best song. Yours might be the best guitar riff. Are they called riffs? Or I don't know what they're called.
Yeah, riffs.
Yeah. Because we're gonna play a couple of seconds of each one. If you tell me if that's all right.
Okay, so the ones that we've released, not the ones that we've not released.
My favourite songs would be off the new album, which isn't released, so you wouldn't be able to play them.
Right. Well, from the past then, what's your favourite so far?
Oh, that's a good question, isn't it?
Well, while you think, and we're gonna be here for a while.
Yeah.
Mine is "Take Me Home."
Take Me Home.
Take Me Home. It's
okay.
If you got that, yeah.
It's one of, I don't know. You never want to play it live, which is really annoying me, right? Because it's a great song, and I've put you on the spot here because everyone's going to be watching it and they'll be like, "Well, why doesn't Wayne want us to play?"
Take Me Home, as in Olivia Newton-John style. Take Me Home.
No, it's it's probably
is
one
it your own song. You wrote it.
Yeah, it's one of the songs that Wayne wrote, and we recorded it at Abbey Road then as part of our EP alongside Bombay and Leeches, and Bombay is another one of my favorite songs. But Take Me Home, it just gives me that feeling of freedom when I listen to it.
Really?
It's a bit of like
as you're singing it, you mean?
When I'm singing it, and when I listen to it as well, I feel like, I don't know, it's a feel good kind of listen to it. You're like, interesting.
Yeah. And have you had a think, Wayne?
I don't know. I like the fun ones. So, Girl on the Radio, it's a bit of fun.
Girl on the Radio.
Yeah, it's a bit light, a bit of fun. Yeah.
We'll have a listen to that as well.
Yeah.
It's a dedication, that, isn't it?
Yeah, Girl on the Radio.
Yeah. It's a pity the other guys couldn't make it, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
We didn't invite them.
We never
Were
asked
they
them.
supposed to be here as well?
We didn't know they meant to come.
Yeah, I would have had to nip out and buy 4 more microphones, but anyway, it'd have been worth it, I think. And I'd certainly like to watch Ryan on the drums from what you've said.
It's well
I love drums, me, actually. I'm not a big music fan, but I do like drums.
Yeah, he's a magician, to be fair. He's a magician.
What's his second name?
Are you allowed to say?
Ormerod.
Yeah, Ryan Ormerod. Yeah.
Ryan Ormerod. I have to look out. Is he on YouTube and stuff?
He's got stuff on Instagram. He
from when he was a kid.
Himself. No, he still posts current stuff. Yeah, I don't know whether he's got like a YouTube channel as well, but I'll check that out and I'll send it to you.
I'll give him a little shout out on that. Can't we get the numbers up a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Have you guys got your own channels, or is it just the Cuza one you have? Or?
Yes.
You have.
Oh, our own channels.
Yeah.
Well, my Instagram is kind of general, but I do like I told you, I do a bit of photography and videography and stuff like that, but nothing I'm trying to like.
So what's your handle on there at Tudor?
Oh, it's what is it? Double T. So T Tudor George on Instagram.
Tudor George.
Tudor George. That's my middle name. Yeah, so I go by Tudor George because my last name is Toduc, and it's very.
Your last name is what?
Exactly.
Toduc.
Toduc.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's Tudor George Toduc if I were to say it in Romanian.
Yeah, we're British. We don't do second languages.
Yeah. No, it's fine. I can teach you. It's fine. It's easy.
Yeah.
You can't.
You know.
If I can do it, anyone can.
I do some a little bit. I lived in Iran for 2.5 years, and I picked up a bit of the Farsi there. And I lived in Poland. I did some of that, but it's long gone. If you don't use it, you lose it with second languages, isn't it? It just goes away, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Also.
But, So what have we got coming up? Are you allowed to say?
Well, we've got a change in. That's just kind of happening. Well, what's happening is a guy's got involved with the band that's advised us to move away from where we're at to pastures new.
Okay.
So he's kind of putting us out to other people, and there's some interest from the people that manage Reef. There's I believe there's a new label that you're not going to. Well, it's a weird thing. Conor McGregor is starting up
the UFC guy.
Yeah. Believe it or not, he's starting up a label.
He's into all kinds, isn't he?
Yeah, he's acting
Whiskey
and all that. And the guy that kind of is doing that with him, who is a music industry person, again has listened to our stuff, and he's so. I think the idea of the Notting Hill Publishing event is that we're gonna then have a chat to these people and see who can do the best thing for our second album, which we've held back from our label, for ourselves. Okay. So we can
probably Lee said soon as mended about that one.
So we can farm it out to whoever offers us the best kind of deal on it.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it is. We're very proud of it. It'd be a big album.
Yeah. So I mean, growing up, when we were saying about what led you to the music. In the UK, I don't know if you had this. It was all about Top of the Pops, wasn't it? When we were growing up, and that was all lip synced, wasn't it? It was all mimed.
Yeah.
You know, and when you were saying about the honesty and the authenticity of what you do, I used to find that irritating when they go the slightly wrong. You can see it.
Yeah, but they weren't set up to do it. They couldn't play live, could they? Some bands
no.
A lot of bands asked if they could, and they didn't have the facilities to let them play live.
Have you ever had to do that yourself? Sing without actually singing, just mime the words?
Lip syncing.
No.
Yeah, we call it ADR in the film.
For videos.
Yeah.
For music videos and stuff like that. But we never played live in a live setting where we had an audience.
It's got to feel weird, that, hasn't it? Not, just moving the mouth and the emotion on your face and not actually saying anything. It's bizarre.
I couldn't do it, honestly.
I don't think I could either. I was an actor. I've done stuff like that in film, but to sing, it comes from the heart, doesn't it? It's an emotion thing, isn't it?
It's an energy thing as well. Like, you're not gonna. It's wrong.
I don't think I'd like that. I don't. I've got another friend.
But Top of the Pops was there.
Did you see that in Romania?
Thing. No, we didn't. No, I never watched it until like I moved here. But bear in mind, I'm completely oblivious to everyone and everything around me. Really, so I'm a bit like kind of like not the right person to ask that. But Top of the Pops, what was it at the end of the day? BBC trying to put on an audience for their telly by bringing all these artists on, and it was a promotional thing for both BBC and the artists, right? Yeah. And that's why they didn't want them, because what they wanted to do, 30 artists in a night or however many there were.
It was to make sure they sounded the best they could.
And then keep people watching it because it was music, and you know.
I suppose it's part of the job of being a performer of any kind. If you have to do that in order to promote yourself in the best possible way, as you said, Wayne, then you have to do it, don't you? It's just part of the job, I suppose.
I'm not precious about stuff like that, to be fair. If we were back in the 70s and we were invited to Top of the Pops and they would have been like, oh, you can't sing, we probably would have done what Nirvana did, you know, play the drums with our feet and like, you know, have a bit of fun and make a bit of fun. It's marketing and it's a good opportunity. Like,
so did you start off playing like small pubs, venues, that kind of stuff? Did you?
Well, when I say small pubs, we played the iconic Manchester, so we'd done Night and Day and those kind of all the
Night People.
Did you ever do Band on the Wall?
We haven't done Band on the Wall because they were doing it up. When we got to play it.
Yeah, on Swan Street.
It only reopened early this year, didn't it?
Yeah.
Well, we talked to them at some point.
So we probably will play it, but we haven't because we were refurbishing it. But we played Night Day to try and raise some money for them because we were going to shut it down at one point.
Right.
The Castle Hotel as well.
We've done all the locals.
It's one of my favourite places.
So what's the ambition then? You must still have one, surely.
Well, I'd love to tour America. There you go. That'd be my ambition. I'd love to play New York and tour America.
Really?
Yeah.
So the management you're going to talk to, are you going to make that, if you don't mind me asking this question, you're going to make that clear that that's your objective, really?
Absolutely,
yeah. I've got a friend in the music industry. I don't think he lives too far from you guys, actually, called Mark Lambert. And he is a bass guitarist. He was in the group called, is it Carmel? The lady was called Carmel. Mixed race lady, I think. She did quite a lot of hits and stuff. And he's played with it quite. He wrote music for Doctor Who, actually.
Wow.
The reverb that they did in, I think it was 1991. They did that, like a rejig of the original sound.
Oh, wow, brilliant.
And he won the
And has he done America? Has he toured?
I believe so. Yeah, he's been everywhere. I mean, he's been in here. He's brilliant at what he does.
Because I've been to America, but I've never played in America. So I'd love to. I mean, my favourite city on the whole planet after Manchester is New York.
Right.
Which is just, I don't know.
I haven't been to New York yet. It was on my bucket list, but
we keep it on there.
Since I was a small child, I've had a reoccurring dream that my life ends in New York.
Oh, well, don't go then.
So everyone tells me don't go until.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't, would you?
Yeah, I even see
wow.
it. It's bizarre.
And it's a reoccurring dream.
It's a reoccurring. I've had it since I was a little boy.
That's
there was
mental.
people, and it's going back into the 70s and all of that. When I was a young boy, it was these people that used to have these oil drum fires and, you know, the boxes at their ear and, you know, music going on. And it was in a subway, and I got stabbed and and I've had that same dream. I've not had it for a long time, touch wood, but I've had it for so many times. They're identical in every way.
Well, I can see why you'd avoid it. Then, to be fair.
But I do want to go. I've got friends there, and I've been invited so many times to do films there.
Yeah, you're missing out.
That reminds me of that song that David Bowie wrote, Americans. You know, I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of.
Who's that? David Bowie.
David Bowie, yeah.
I don't know that one.
It's a good one. Oh yeah, that's a strange dream to have. I went to New York for the first time this year as well, and I fell in love with it.
I'm definitely going to go. There's no doubt. But I think when I get to the point where I don't care if I die, I die anyway.
Fair enough.
Just don't go to Subway. Don't go to Subway.
Oh yeah,
it's just about the Subway, I suppose. I suppose so. Yeah. Yeah. So I would like to go. I'd like to go all across America actually. Yeah. But it'd be interesting to see if you guys with the new management can get over there.
Well, let's see.
Interesting.
Got to put the money where the mouth is and see.
Well, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Because too few people really. A lot of them talk a good game, but they don't walk the walk, do they? Some of them.
Yeah, because there's no money as such in music, and not for bands like us anyway. But
you could get there, couldn't you?
Well, as long as they put us out places and take us places and we can have fun doing it, that's kind of what we want to do, innit?
Yeah.
So as long as they're covering the costs and putting the money up for that, that's what it needs to be done.
As long as you don't, if you don't get a certain amount of people on bums on seats, then you don't eat. Then it becomes a problem.
Well, exactly. So they've got to do all that. They've got to get the promo, sell the tickets, and make sure that covers the cost, because streaming doesn't. So we can bring the second album out, and even though the first album came out with real vinyl and real albums, which is great, you know, the streaming. I mean, we've had millions of streams, and we've earned about 5p.
Is that? I mean, I heard Noel Gallagher talking about that. So the streaming has just killed
absolutely killed it.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely killed.
Because people are just downloading it on YouTube or wherever.
Well, no, even if Spotify, you get a legitimate kickback, but it's
pennies.
Oh yeah,
it's not enough.
No.
Wow.
No, you certainly wouldn't. If that's what you were doing it for, the costs of recording and everything that couldn't ever be recouped by streaming. You'd need to literally do 100 million streams. I don't know. You'd have to do ridiculous Taylor Swift levels.
Right. So the ultimate aim would be really arenas then.
Oh yeah, opening up for Taylor Swift.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Opening for Taylor Swift. Shout out Taylor Swift then. Yeah, why not? I'm sure she's listening.
If you do 1,000 plus venues on the tour, that'd do it. If it's 1,000 plus, you'd be okay with that.
That'd take some bloody doing though, wouldn't it?
Well, no, not really. The people, that's your cult kind of audience. You'd get that done. That's easy enough to.
1,000 gigs, you mean?
1,000 plus people in the venue.
I think about 1,000 gigs.
So you don't need arenas, but as long as it's like 1,000 people plus a smaller venue, then you had a tour of that, then that'll cover your costs easily.
I mean, you've got an MEN here, haven't you?
Yeah, well, that's a bit more than 1,000.
17,000, I think it is.
That's a bit more. But that's a different. The people that run them kind of gigs are in a different.
I know the guy that runs the MEN.
Yeah. But they're looking for it. Yeah, let's just say, I don't know. there's a lot of old bands coming back. So you get the Pet Shop Boys on there now. And all that. It's all retro now, isn't it?
They all seem to be making a comeback, don't they? I'm waiting for Madness to do it because I quite like them.
Yeah, well, I saw Madness the other year.
Did you?
Yeah, they were fantastic.
I like Madness.
Yeah. Well, they were good, to be honest. I didn't expect them to be
82
good.
when I left school, that's when
I didn't expect them to be good. I thought they'd be a load of old men with no energy, but they actually weren't. They were
some
actually,
guy in pyjamas on the organ.
They were actually very good, I'll be honest.
Yeah. Oh, good stuff. So really then, I mean, you must surely with what you do, you must have this little bit still that's thinking, yeah, we could actually what they call make it. You know, surely. I mean, I'm the same as a filmmaker. I'm not very big, but I want to be, and I'm giving it everything I can to be.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
You know,
I mean, obviously everyone's dream is to make it.
Of course.
You do something out of the passion that you have for that
of course,
thing.
Yeah.
And if making it is a possibility,
well, I don't think you can without the
great.
passion.
Well,
really.
yeah, absolutely.
You know, but
what we're trying to do is have fun at the end of the day. We get together, but we always set ourselves a goal, or like an objective, like next thing. All right, we get there. If that doesn't work out, or if it works out, what's the next thing? So we're always kind of like working on that basis rather than, our dream is we're going to play in front of 100,000 people in 2025.
And it
in
all gets
December.
a bit anal, doesn't it? You get a bit sort of tense about it and all that. So
it's all small steps, and I think you got to take the pressure out of it, because the moment you put pressure on, that's when you kind of it starts to become convoluted
but
a
we
bit.
got a fan base, you know. There's people from all over the world message us, and you had a Japanese stalker, didn't you, when we first started?
A Japanese stalker?
It wasn't a stalker.
She used to message you all the time.
Yeah, but it was nice. Like, obviously, and if I think that's.
Tell us more about the Japanese stalker. That's really
She
interesting.
used to message you directly, didn't she?
She was messaging on the Cuza Instagram.
Was she?
Yeah, man,
I thought she said.
Well, she followed me on my personal one as well.
There you go. Then you see.
You're going to call them Tudorettes or something?
Yeah.
She's just going to turn up one day from Japan, and she loved us. But I see that. So I mean, I remember with one of the first singles we brought out was just on Spotify. Just put it out, Bombay, and he did like 130,000 streams in like no time at all. Yeah. And a stream, they're genuine people listening to your music.
Of course they are.
So that's a fan base, isn't it? It'd be like you set up a film. If 135,000 people watch your film, you'd be made up with that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So there you go. So that's a buzz. Because when people listen to your music like that, that's good.
From what you've said, though, I get the feeling that there's kind of more money in streaming films than music.
Oh, definitely. No. There's no money in music.
If I put something on Twitter, or X as it's called now, and a friend of mine leaves a link up there, and you press the link to watch the film, and you get £1.
Yeah. Do you?
So 135,000 people click that link, I get 135 grand.
No way, right? No chance. Honestly, it's pennies. It's like 0.001p or something like that. Wow. Honestly, it's ridiculous. Wow. It's really bad. Really, it's killed music. Killed it.
So I'm getting the invisible from
time. So you need a bell. You need a bell out of the pub.
Yeah.
Last orders.
I'm actually enjoying listening to you guys, to be honest with you. I could do it all bloody day, but we'd love to have you on again sometime if you'll come. Maybe bring the others as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
We might be able to afford more microphones by then.
Phil should hear the other side of the story as well from the other guys. Who knows what they come with?
Yeah, well, if we can get right on a set of drums, that'd be even better by the sounds of it. But we'd love to record it. We'd love to record you guys doing your thing actually sometime, even in a rehearsal or whatever.
Yeah. Well, next time we play Manchester, we play around. We'll just let you know.
Give us a shout. Yeah, we'll bring all the gear. And we'll
we're definitely setting a few gigs up for the next few months now, so we're gonna put the word out when that happens.
Let us know, and we'll plug it for you as well. And we'd love to come and film it as well. We really would. Get it out there.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So listen, guys, thanks very much. It's really interesting.
Cheers, Phil.
I'm not a music man per se. What I like a bit of Mozart, stuff like that, old stuff. But I'm definitely a fan of the Cuza now. That's for sure.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Phil.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thanks for having us.
Bye.
Bye.